Hey everyone, today I'm here to inform you about a new and exciting readathon that's going to be happening on BookTube throughout the month of March. It's called Marching Mammoths, and if you like a little bit of mystery in your life, I'm going to play a quick trailer for the readathon, and you can see if you can guess what the purpose of this readathon is going to be. As you can see from the clip, this is a readathon that takes its inspiration from the iconic mammoth. When I think of mammoths, I think of brutally cold temperatures and really giant creatures, and that's kind of the idea with this readathon. We are spending the last few weeks of winter hunkering down and trying to read some gigantic books that have been haunting you on your shelf for far too long. This readathon will be taking place throughout the entire month of March, so even though we are going to try to read some gigantic books, we are going to leave ourselves with lots of time and hopefully not too much pressure. I'm going to be co-hosting this readathon with two amazing people. We have Jason at Old Blues Chapter and Verse. Jason kind of came up with the idea for this readathon and put together that awesome little trailer. He actually went to a museum nearby where he lives and saw the mammoth skeleton in all its glory. And also I'm co-hosting with Lukas from the channel Totally Pretentious. So I will link both of their information down below, and I highly encourage you to check out these channels if you haven't done so already. We also want to acknowledge that this readathon takes a lot of inspiration from Tome Topple. This is a readathon created by the channel Thoughts on Tomes that is very popular, and it's a BookTube institution at this point, and it takes place a few times throughout the year, and it's the same idea where you're supposed to be challenging yourself to pick up some of the longer reads on your shelf. So kind of the main difference that would separate this readathon from Tome Topple is that there's not a series of challenges or prompts, so it's very open-ended, and in Tome Topple, a tome is considered to be a book that is over 500 pages in length, but for Marching Mammoths, we are going to be trying to pick up a book that is over 800 pages in length. The goal of this readathon is to dedicate your time making some progress into an immense book that you have maybe been putting off for far too long. So maybe it's a book that you're very excited about reading, but you just never seem to prioritize picking it up because of its size, or maybe it's a book that you find to be very intimidating. I know I have a few of those books lying around. They take up so much space on your bookshelf, and it almost seems like they can stare into your soul and judge you for not having read them yet. So it's really up to you what you want to read for this readathon. Just try to pick something that is going to take a good amount of time. I know on BookTube sometimes we get into this habit of prioritizing numbers, and we want to do well on our Goodreads challenge, so sometimes you find yourself reaching for a lot of shorter books. I know one of the reasons I avoid longer reads is because I think that in the time that it will take to read one giant book, maybe I'll read 4 really awesome shorter books. And that could be the case, but I usually end up loving long reads. So this month is going to be a nice excuse to not care about numbers and to just try to sink my teeth into some giant books. That's it for all the key information for the Marching Mammoths readathon. I'm still in the process of narrowing down my TBR and picking out which books I'd like to read for the month. Of course, if one 800 plus page book is more than enough for you in a month, you can just commit to reading one book, but I'm thinking about being a bit extra and trying to see if I can get through 2 or 3 long books. We'll have to see where my ambition will lead me, but stay tuned throughout the month of February. I'm going to be talking a bit more of some of my favorite really long books, and I'll be showing you some really long books that are on my TBR, and you can help me pick which ones I should read during the month of March. Please let me know if you are interested in participating, and myself and my co-hosts, we would all really appreciate if you could share the word of this readathon. We would love to hear if you're interested and if you know what you might want to read throughout the month. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope that you'll consider joining us on our March of the Mammoths.